Working in the homicides in New York, it's the ultimate crime. The taking of one life is kind of the pinnacle of a criminal act. And to investigate it, you're at the top of your game. You're working towards finding the person that's responsible for doing that. It was a major holiday, and a family, husband, wife, and their 3-year-old daughter were coming back from having dinner and celebrating the holiday with their family. And they got involved in a road rage incident. The car is following too close. The driver just taps his brakes. The car following this car becomes irate. He slows down, he goes into the lane, parallel with the car, and proceeds to roll down the window and fire into the car, shattering the rear window of the car. One bullet actually enters the trunk and exits in between the 3-year-old's car seat, in between her legs. Doesn't hurt the baby in the car. And another bullet lodges in the wife's head.
You okay? Oh my God.
Now, the husband is frantic. He's trying to get out of the way. He speeds up, he changes lanes, he gets off at the exit. He's not really 100% sure of the neighborhood. And because it's a holiday weekend, stores are closed, and it's a residential neighborhood, and he's not familiar with the neighborhood. So he drives frantically trying to find a place to call 911, a place to seek help. Ultimately he does. He finds a gas station, call 911, we all respond. But at this point, he's away from the crime scene, and because of the moment, he's not sure where this actually happened. He's not sure of the make or model of the car because it was 10 o'clock at night and all he saw was lights in his rearview mirror. So we don't have a witness, we don't have a weapon, we don't have any crime scene to really work on. Ultimately, everybody, the wife goes to the hospital where she expires and she dies. We do the best we can, but under the circumstances, we had nothing to work on. We work on it, the news picked it up, and we were seeking help through tips. And we got a few calls, but nothing that would really help us. The case is dead. Now, a year later, on that same holiday, at the same time, we block off this major highway. And we had cars backed up for miles. But it's something that had to be done. We were just hoping that the same people who were visiting family then are visiting family again now. And we really didn't get anything. What happens now is kind of odd. Detectives from another precinct are investigating a burglary. And they go to the suspect's house. They meet the suspect in this burglary, and the suspect says, "You haven't got anything on me. You could search my room if you'd like. You got the wrong guy." So these detectives go into his bedroom. They noticed on a vanity mirror a little picture that was cut out of a newspaper at the time of this homicide of this little baby girl.
It's okay. It's okay.
Here is a kind of a disheveled, disgruntled person, and he's got this picture of this little baby. So now questions are raised, and we start to look into this further, and we start to work on this person now as a possible suspect. He had a history of stalking women. He was kind of an oddball character, had a volatile temper. The person that he was alleged to have burglarized her house, he was also stalking her. And we found out that she had filed a complaint on this same holiday at around the same time that this homicide occurred, which now raises our elevation of this guy now may be the suspect that we're looking for. So we now found out about his employment. Now his employment would have taken him directly from his house to where he works, in the same highway where this incident occurred. And sure enough, he works the midnight shift. So he was on his way to work, possibly on the same road. So all the things are starting to fit in. It's not really a lot to go to a district attorney with and really prove a case. We let the burglary case go through the courts, and he pleads guilty, and he gets sentenced to 18 months, and he gets sent upstate. At which time, before he gets lodged into the state system, we put him in a cell where I have an informant. I said, "You're gonna get a new roommate, and I want you to be his best friend." And he wants to know more. He wants to be helpful. He wants to do anything, because I've been doing things for him all this time. He wants to be overly helpful. Tell me, what should I ask him? And I said, "You're not gonna ask him anything. You don't know anything. You're just gonna become his best friend. So for 3 months, we let them become friends. And I get calls every day telling me, Tom, this guy is nuts. He's got some issues, he's nuts, he's kind of got a strange temper, he's got a strange temperament. He's just an oddball. I said, just be his friend. Just be a nice guy to him, and don't worry about it. You'll know when something happens. And then myself and 2 other detectives, we go up to see our murder suspect. And we bring him into a room where we start to just scream at him and say, you're our guy, you're the guy we're gonna go after, we know you were involved in this. And he's denying it, but you could just see that the blood pressure's rising. He's turning red in the face, the veins in his neck are popping out, and he's just beside himself with anger, which was a perfect time for us to just close up our books and walk out. Now the corrections officers come up, they pick him up, and they bring him to his cell. And then we just sit by the phone. And not less than 24 hours later, I get a call from my guy. And he says, Tom, he goes, you're not gonna believe what this guy told me. I says, try me. And he proceeds to tell me the entire story of what happened. That he was stalking a woman that he worked with, and he thinks he may have been seen, and he was all upset, and he had to race from that person's house to home to change into his work clothes, get back on the highway and go to work and not be late. It all fit in, and he now details everything about the homicide. Everything. We go to the district attorney with this, and the district attorney says it's great, and we know that he's the guy, but to successfully prosecute this case, you can't take the sole information of a convicted felon, especially one who spent most of his adult life in jail. Around the same time, my informant and our suspect are in anger management classes at the correctional facility, where you could see that this guy is he's just beside himself with anger. And he gets up in front of this anger management class and proceeds to say that whoever ratted him out, he's gonna kill. He's gonna find out who did this to him, and he's gonna kill him. That's the end of the relationship between our suspect and our informant. So they take him out of his cell, they put him in solitary confinement, and they're trying to figure out what to do with him because he's still got about 6 months left of his 18-month burglary sentence. We realize the district attorney needs more. We can't use this informant any longer. We know that he's going to be transferred to finish out his sentence, so we put him in a cell with a second informant that we have. He's whisked in the middle of the night, he's put on a bus, and he's taken to this second prison where he's thrust into a cell with another guy, where he proceeds to now not only tell the story, but add little things that really tighten up the case against him. Second informant calls up and tells us the story. We say, put everything on paper, write everything down, and thank you. We go to the grand jury, we indict him for murder, and now the big gate opens up. Out comes our suspect, happy as a clam. He's got a big smile on his face, and we just told him that he's going back to jail. We put the handcuffs on him, and that's where he is today. You're never gonna bring the woman back, but you are gonna give the husband closure, which ultimately every victim's family needs that. There's such a tremendous job satisfaction. It's just a wonderful feeling.